Crew. This is going to be episode 8, and today we're going to be talking about being stuck in a time loop and what animals do you think you could take in a fist fight. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with everybody that you know. They're pets, they're domesticated animals, they're estranged cousins, all of the people you know. Also,
if you can communicate with the dead, that works as well.
That would be perfect, you know? So, also, we would like to know what animals you think you could take in a fist fight in the comment section below. So let us know and give us a reason why you think you could beat that animal. And so we're going to just jump straight into Cut the Cap. Travis is going to be starting us out today. So what you got?
I have some heaters, not ready. But you guys are never ready. I always bring the heaters.
I fucking
Alright.
He's getting cut down today.
They think so. They're triggered.
I got the chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down. Texas has the largest tiger population in the world.
In the world?
Texas
in the
has
world.
the largest tiger population in the world. I'm going to say true. Captive tigers probably make up more of the population than wild tigers do nowadays.
Okay, that's the reason you're saying true. What you got?
That's a good reason. I'm gonna say true.
Oh, we got a bandwagoner.
He's a bandwagoner.
But it is true.
They
say so. There's an estimated 3,900 tigers remain in the wild, and they estimate that about 3,000 to 5,000 domesticated tigers are in Texas.
Nice.
And fun fact: it is easier to own a wild tiger in Texas than it is to own a dog labeled as dangerous.
In Texas?
In Texas. It is easier to
so
own
it's
a
easier
tiger.
to have a tiger than it is to have a pit bull in Texas, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. That's insane.
Alright.
That makes me cringe.
Alright, what else you got?
Oxford University is older than the Aztecs.
Then the Aztecs?
That's what I said.
Oxford? Where's Oxford located?
England.
England? True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
True.
It is true.
Mm-hmm.
Oxford is older than the Aztec civilization.
This
Teaching at the uni started as early as 1096, as where the Aztecs didn't get into the swing of things until 1325.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was like a few hundred years after.
Okay.
Well, this was just like that Isaac Newton question you asked, too. So I was just like, this is for sure true. I was like, you're not catching me slipping. No, sir.
He's like, this man like
No,
old
sir.
ancient facts over here. Okay. So, I got 1. Man's a 2.
1.
You 1. Alright.
I'm
Doesn't
winning
matter
this.
if I win.
I'm winning
See, it doesn't
this.
matter if I win my section, because I'm going to win both of theirs. Easy.
He's not touching me on this one, I promise you.
Alright. So, if you listen to the birthday song backwards, it says "word to your mother" in Russian slang.
Word to your mother?
Yes, in Russian slang.
Word to your mother in Russian slang. I would like,
Could I get a demonstration, Kendrick, please, on the birthday song saying backwards?
So, I wish, because I feel like I want to look it up.
You two birthday happy?
Happy birthday to you. You too happy birthday? Or no, you too birthday happy?
Unless you mean like
it's
backwards to the letter.
Backwards to the letter, I should say. Like,
Yeah, so I learned a little bit of Russian.
And it means what in Russian?
Word to your mother.
Word to your mother. In Russian slang.
So what is okay?
So if you learned Russian from like an institute or school or something,
it's
you learned like
no.
exact.
I learned.
I doubt you learned
no,
slang.
I learned Russian from Duolingo and Tarkov. So I know a little bit of slang.
I'd say there might be maybe a little bit of slang from like Tarkov.
From
but,
Tarkov.
Like, Duolingo. I doubt
And word to your mother is definitely a cheesy ass line that they would put into Tarkov. So if I could hear it, I could probably recognize it. And I know the way Russian sounds, but I'm gonna say false.
False?
I'm gonna say false. I'm gonna say that's cap.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's false. Cause I've been trying to do it backwards in my head. It just doesn't It doesn't sound like Russian.
I feel like you forget half the alphabet once you fucking get to the second word. You're like, okay, I've like struggled through getting these letters backwards this whole time. Now I gotta get birthday backwards? Fuck. Like,
No, birthday was actually.
I know.
Alright.
But you guys both right. That is
It's
just some
Cap.
fucking
You just made
Cap
that shit
dad's
up.
lie that is just, yep.
Yep.
This
All
shit
right.
is
Sick.
Cap
I
as
was
fuck.
like-
Great.
Alright, so out. 1, 2, 3.
Yippa?
Yeah.
Yippa?
Uh,
That doesn't sound
that could
Russian.
be Russian, but
Your third.
yeah, sure. That's not real. All right. You
that
got
all
any
you got?
more for you?
Nah, I don't got no more.
Okay.
Just 3 today, boys.
Okay. I have quite a few saved up for these next couple.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I've been doing lots of research.
Alright, we'll
Okay.
drop like 4 or 5 on it so I can get a good, nice lead.
So, Scotland has over 400 words for snow.
Scotland,
Yep.
like Gaelic. You're talking about the language, the Scottish language.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
you're
like-
captain. You're
No,
captain.
so
You're
400
captain.
Wait, 400
Dude, I saw the way this
different
man
words.
looked whenever I said Gaelic. Like he didn't even know what that
I didn't know
was.
what
Wait,
Gaelic
you're
is.
saying that
So-
all 400 different words mean snow. So you're saying I could walk up to somebody, pretend to say a whole ass fucking paragraph, and just been said snow, 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 snow,
Yeah.
snow.
Uh, Cap.
I gotta say cat
Yeah.
just because I feel like there might be 400 words in the language that sound similar and are like almost exact spelling to the word snow, but the pronunciation makes them mean something different. Similar to like Japanese, where you can say like the same shit 4 times in a row and be a complete sentence in English.
Mhm.
Like,
So it's actually true.
Oh shit.
oh, what kind of bullshit?
There are a lot of weird facts out there about Scotland, but how many of them involve word choice? In Scotland, there are 421 words that have the meaning of snow.
What the fuck, dude? That's stupid.
That's
Why would I ever want to learn that?
Clay here.
language?
Scotland. That's a bad language.
Why would I want to
Like,
learn that?
Listen, I know English is a shitty language.
Yeah.
That one is far worse.
Yeah. Why would I
Yeah,
want to learn
421
that?
words for the word snow. It's
So
awful.
what are you at now? You're at 4,
4.
and I'm at 3, and you're at 1.
I'm at 1. I
Yes,
can't do
he's
this.
getting bodied this
Nah.
time. He's getting bodied this time. All right, let's go. What you got? What else? What
Okay, so the Empire State Building
else? Okay.
has its own zip code.
Mm. I know the
One
answer.
building
I'm gonna
has
say
its
fact.
own zip code.
You say fact.
This is fact.
It's a fact.
I was like,
It's
especially
I've
because
been to the Empire State Building
this,
before.
I've never been to the Empire State Building, but I could just definitely see the Empire State Building having its own zip code. I bet you a lot more buildings have their own zip codes as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet you the White House has its own zip code.
I bet you the entire fucking Pentagon has its own zip
Oh,
code
yeah.
for each individual building.
Okay,
All right.
so in Illinois,
Okay.
riding a bicycle with your feet off the pedals is legal.
Is it illegal?
Is illegal.
I'm gonna say fact.
Yeah, fact. There's so many
Especially if you could-
stupid laws.
So, like in the state of Colorado, it's illegal to hand throw a missile from your car, and
Yeah.
also any projectile thrown from your vehicle by your hand is
it's
considered a
considered a
missile.
rocket. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
And also in the state of Arkansas, it's illegal to have sexual intercourse with a horse.
Yep.
That's a real law
Yeah,
that they had
that's
to make.
real shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is true. I know for a
Holy
fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's considered fancy riding to have your
Fancy
feet
riding.
off the pedals.
Yikes.
This bed's like he's going back through after what we just said. He's like, okay, take this one out and take that
He's
one
like,
out.
anything that has to do with laws that are weird, we gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, for real.
Alright, what else?
Okay.
What else?
I can do a couple, but I mainly got one more.
Okay, okay.
The world's largest waterfall
Mm-hmm.
is underwater.
Fact.
Yeah, fact.
Fuck you both.
Yeah, or
I was like, sorry, I feel like,
Strolling to the
especially
park.
for like shit like that, like giant shit. I'm not saying I'm a nerd, but that shit's kind of fascinating me, especially
Mhm.
like the fact that water can fall underwater.
It's fucking
like,
nuts, dude. That's
So
nuts.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah. No? You got
No,
the
'cause
first
wait,
one
you were at
wrong.
one.
No,
And
I was at 1, and then I got 2 for the last one, and then
You got
just
2
did-
for him.
'cause you just did the Empire State Building. I got right.
Yeah.
And then we just did
The
this-
waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall
And the law.
and the law.
Okay,
so I got
okay.
4.
Okay.
Oh, damn. So then 4, 6.
Yeah.
Because you got all of mine, right?
Yeah.
Except for 1.
I mean, they just gotta dominate yours, and I fucking win.
No, it's not. You're not winning nothing, my boy. I have some phenomenal
I was
cut
saying-
the cap statements.
I said the competition is getting far better now.
All right.
Alright, what you got?
I got one more to end it.
Okay.
Ever since the British military started making tanks,
Mhm.
every tank has been equipped to make tea.
This is a good one.
Mm.
Cause like me being an American, like, you know,
me just
fuck the tea.
this me thinking is in
It's true.
If I would put myself in the shoes of somebody in the middle of war making tanks and then fucking doing that, I'm like,
But I would also like to state.
Yeah,
that-
so that, while you're blowing off fucking missiles, you can just, bro, you got my cup?
Yeah, I would also like to state too that Volkswagen made a car, I think it was in the 60s, that had its own espresso machine.
Oh, no shit.
It was either Volkswagen or Mercedes or somebody like that.
Okay.
They did that.
what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna say that is false, it's cap, but at one point in time, I bet you they did make a tank that made tea. All I'm saying is that it's very impractical.
You said since
impractical
when?
for war.
Since
So,
when?
Since ever.
Since they
Since
first
started
since
making
forever.
tanks.
like since they
first
got the
started making
design,
tanks.
when they got the blueprint, one of the dudes was like, "Hold up, bro."
We can make a fucking teapot. In
He's like, "Yeah, put a teapot right here, bro."
He's like, the engine gets how hot? Oh, we can
I
make
just
some tea
picture,
with
I
that.
just picture myself in Battlefield, like jumping out the tank, fixing it real quick, jumping back in the tank, and the dude's like, "Here's your tea, bro."
He's like, you wanna have a spot of tea with me, mate?
He's like, "Have a spot tea." The other dude's in the back, like, "Keep mine warm, please." Boom.
He's fucking dude in the guns. He's like, oh mate, he's like, I need you to boil mine up for me real quick.
Just fucking- oh no, we've lost the track. Everybody, start the tea while he fixes it.
So I'm gonna say true.
I'm saying cat, but I'm saying they probably made it at some point.
I'm saying true.
So it is actually true.
Ooh,
What?
let's
Why?
go.
Yeah, stupid. Yeah.
Let's go.
This is why we were able to separate. Fucking dumbasses.
They put tea over everything, and when we dumped it into the river, and they were just like, "Hold on, mate.
Yeah,
what
we're
do we
bringing
do
tea
now?"
to- They were like, "You started a war over this. We're bringing it to
Yeah,
war."
at one point they even called it the British Army boiling vessel.
Yep, sounds about right.
God.
So
Right.
I'm at 7,
I'm at 5.
and you're
I'm
at
at 4.
4. Let's go.
We're chopping them down this
Yes,
time.
sir. No more legs for this guy.
Still beating you, guaranteed.
All right, so here we go.
Ain't letting it happen.
I have some heaters. Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, in 2014, an asteroid hit the Earth with the amount of impact force as a car crash, but it landed in the ocean, so nobody knew about it.
Okay.
Crash.
Yeah. Okay. That's
I
kind
can
of
see that.
how fast would the cars be going.
Like a 70-mile-per-hour car crash.
So like, just
It
head
was
on,
like it was a
boom.
bad car crash. It was
Okay.
not like a
Like-
little.
Like 2 Hondas are now look like 2
Yeah,
flat pieces.
yeah,
of
2
metal
Hondas
together.
look like
I got you.
one piece of metal now.
I
yeah.
got you. They thought it was one Honda when they fucking
Yeah,
got to the scene.
yeah.
They were
I'm
like,
gonna say true, but
Mhm.
if you change the year, I'm gonna get big, thick boxing gloves and we're gonna duke it.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say cap, just because like an episode ago I had the same one that was very similar,
Mm-hmm.
because it was the asteroid in 2018 that
Mhm.
hit Earth's atmosphere with a force of 10 atomic bombs.
Oh, I forgot you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm. No, I don't, because I mean,
To be
just
honest, I
because of that,
completely
I want to
forgot
say it's.
about.
I want to
last
say it's.
episode.
I want to say it's true. Me too. The episode's done. I'm like, cool, that's like a conversation with the boys in the lobby. Like, fuck. It's like a hard, because like it could be true, because scientists have definitely missed asteroids hitting
Uh-huh.
before until after, but like, God, it's just so similar. See, and I'm not saying that you remembered like you were like, he said this one last. Just like you might have come across the same fact looking yours up and like made it into a lie like you do. No, Not
like you
Yeah,
did.
like you do, he says.
See, but I can't, like, if I lose this to Kenshin, he gets that much more. I need him to stay one behind.
Right now he's one ahead of you.
I know, that's what I'm saying, like, but if I call it cap and I lose... How many you got? How many you got for it?
I got 3.
You got 3?
I can
Fuck
probably
it, I can
figure
afford to
another
lose
one
one.
out.
I have... This is the episode I'm dethroned.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I was beating you anyways.
What
but,
do you do?
I'll say cap.
Cap?
Cap.
That is cap. I completely made that up. Completely made that up. All of it. The asteroid hitting Earth. Like, the only thing... Because I looked it up, and the only thing that I could see was... They're talking about like an asteroid that's supposed to hit Earth maybe 2020, maybe, or in the next 300 years or something like that.
Fucking killed you.
And
Oh, bro, this has been going on for weeks. Weeks and weeks.
and yeah, they're like it's supposed to be like not good if it hits her or whatever. So it had a name and shit too, but I don't remember the name. But I was trying to see if mine was gonna be factual or not. So that way, if it's fact, then I'll still use it and just say fact, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it wasn't, so I just completely made that up. So for the next one that I have, you guys are tied up now.
Yep, 6-6, and you're at what, like...
No, yeah, I'm at 8.
We're
Yeah.
tied, you're at 8.
Well, I thought you guys were at 5 though.
No, because he was at 6 and I was at 5.
Okay, all right. So the next one that I have is that there is a toad that excretes DMT, and people have started tripping off of toad juice.
I'm gonna say fact.
Fact?
Fact, especially
What do you
because
think?
motherfuckers would try some shit like that. Guaranteed. But I don't know if it would be if it'd be DMT exactly. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with fact. I said it.
Fact. What do you think?
I think your poker face is getting better from these last couple episodes.
I am the uncrackable man. You do not know what's going on in my head ever.
He's thinking of waffles.
I'm thinking of not waffles, but
Now he's
I'm
thinking
gonna
of
go with
waffles.
fact though.
fact, fact. Yes, it is a fact. That is true.
Oh.
It's some kind of DMT. Don't know if it's the one Joe Rogan talks about, or if it's just like, because like DMT, when Joe Rogan talks about it, lasts for like 15 to 30 minutes. This is supposed to be like an hour, and it sets in after 5 minutes, and it's supposed to be like super religious, is what the factoid said. So, so that's probably interesting. But
I could definitely see him being like, maybe that's why. Okay, hear me out. This is why I'm gonna bring it back to another Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they got fucking sick and they made him go get the toads and suck on the frozen toads.
I don't
so they could
remember
get
that.
better. Yeah, I'm a nerd.
It's been so long since I've
Especially
seen
for that.
Avatar, and I never watched it, like sat down and watched all the episodes. I just watched it when it was on Nickelodeon.
That was my favorite fucking cartoon when I was little. That shit would come on, and when they finished airing, they would fucking air the whole season on or like the whole series on one Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, bet my little ass was like, ain't nothing to do. I'm watching this shit every Saturday. I know everything about that
You're
show.
like, I know all the fucking fighting stances, all the moves. I know how to waterbend now.
No flex, but I held the #1 spot for a Quizlet on Avatar: The Last Airbender for a year.
Oh man. Alrighty, so I have one more. Let me see if I can remember what it
7,
was.
And you're still at 8.
I'm still at 8. You're both tied right now.
Damn, we might be able to tie this whole episode up.
Wow, dude, that would be fucking nuts. And then we all go 1 for 1 until somebody loses, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's the thing. Alright, I'm trying to remember.
He has to remember it's true.
No, not necessarily, because if he doesn't remember it correctly, he'll just make it up as best he can that sounds true and then check his phone after.
Yeah.
Well, we're over here playing chess right now.
Oh yeah,
okay?
you're fucking trying to stay 10 steps ahead, dude. I don't even know where I'm
Listen,
going
look
right
at this.
now.
Look at this forehead. You're gonna tell me that's not 5? 5 head here, bro.
Oh, okay. So, in Victorian era times, whenever a person would die, that was a single guy, they would have blonde chicks cry at his grave wearing rings of onyx and a lock of hair inside that ring. And they would also bottle their tears for mourning tears and keep them. And the reason that they had these women cry was so that the dude that died would seem like more attractive.
So in his next life, he might get some pussy.
Yeah. So that is my last statement.
There's 1,000 questions about mainly just one. Is it like, okay, like, I mean, if they're single and they don't necessarily like maybe they know the dude, but like, first off, if it's only blonde chicks, like, how are you gonna get that many blonde chicks that don't know somebody to be like, bro, just come cry at this grave? I mean, I guess years of tradition, like, it might get, like,
I don't know.
Kind of, but how many people were blonde?
But Victorian eras was only for the amount of time that Queen Victoria was ruling, and then after she died, it was a new era. So that's like not even that long, to be honest. That's like maybe 60 years.
Yeah.
So you think that's long enough for traditions to be
but
built?
think about it, like, especially, okay, I mean, bro, how long ago, like, what years do you know were...
I think it was like sometime in the 1800s.
Like, okay, well, even then, around that, like, the life
It was
expectancy
right around
of humans...
the industrial era.
Like, think about it, the life expectancy of humans was, like,
It's
30,
fluctuates,
40 years old.
though.
Like, yeah, fluctuates,
No,
but it's...
I feel like it could have been older than that. I think, like, right before the industrial shit took off, it was, like, fairly high. It was, like, 60s or 70s.
Life expectancy definitely went down when factories and shit...
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, well, that's because kids started dying, dude. And they're like, yeah, dude, if you live to 30, good luck, I'm fucking proud of you. You know what I mean? They would have, like, kid chimney sweepers and shit.
Bro, and then it breeds people like... Fucking one story my coach was telling me, this dude fucking he was working at a bread shop, and the dude was fixing the machine and got his arm, like, caught in the machine and, like, fucking ripped up. And the dude just, like, wrapped it up, finished fixing the machine, and then went to the hospital when he was done.
Dude,
like,
people are nuts.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that's true because they had, like, all the fucking superstitions they could have.
True.
I'm gonna say true, but that's not my reason.
What's your reason?
You provided a lot of detail.
Oh, yeah?
See, I'm gonna say... because especially then you could add more detail.
Oh yeah,
because especially with like that fucking like. Have you ever looked at the Greek mythology or anything like that? That shit, even a sentence like that is short. Like shit like that, motherfuckers will. Oh, especially with stuff back then. All I'm saying is
my imagination goes nuts.
But like how hard he was trying to remember like certain things.
Was I trying hard or was I just making it up on the spot?
You look like you were trying pretty hard.
I'm saying the fact because, like I said, they got a lot of superstitions about stuff back then.
Alright.
Fact.
No, fuck you guys, because it is true.
Got the tie episode.
So we have the tie episode. So, unfortunately for you guys, I prepared for this. So,
it's okay.
We're gonna. Are you guys all ready? Do you have another one to go?
I could probably get one pretty quick.
Okay, well, I will pause. We will be back in maybe 5 minutes while they look up their things.
I have one.
Alright, welcome back. We had to go look up our little tidbits of information that we were going to use. Maybe figure out some lies.
Keep my championship alive.
Yep, so we're just going to go until one person loses. So we're going to go one round. Everybody's going to ask one question. Hopefully that will be enough to decide because that's all we looked up. So we might have to take another break and look up some more little information bits. So
no, I'm just gonna lie.
All right, who wants to start us off here? Who wants to start us off here?
Like I said,
he picked up his phone. He's looking at his phone.
Oh yeah,
and he's telling us he's gonna lie. I feel like that's contradicting information there.
It's okay. Because will it sound like the truth?
I don't know. You're going to have to say it first for me to find out.
Shakespeare came up with the name Brittany first. He was the first person to ever use the name Brittany in one of his plays.
Can I get a date of origin for the name of Brittany?
A date of
A
origin
date
for the
of
name
a year of origin for the name of Brittany.
I got you. 1 second.
Okay, bet. This is crucial information.
Yeah,
this is
is the
crucial
countdown.
information. I feel like Brittany is a very new age name, but then again, there are also a lot of different ways to spell Brittany.
I mean, but Brittany is just kind of a variation of Britain.
Yeah, but no. I feel like if you name your kid Brittany in Britain during like John Henry, or not John Henry, like King Henry's reign, your head's coming off. They're gonna be
Alright.
like, that's treacherous.
So, the name Brittany originated in 1574.
Oh, and William Shakespeare? No fucking shot.
Yeah, that's capish.
No
shit.
shot. That's
Cap?
cap.
That's capish. shit.
Yeah, you had said both got the cap. I lied completely.
I was like, there's no way Shakespeare's that old. I was all like,
Actually, false.
what?
False. If that was your whole reasoning, I mean, you got it right. But if that was your whole reasoning,
How old is Shakespeare? I'm pretty sure his was like in the
1700s.
1700s.
I said like 1760s when you talk
Or like
about
maybe
Shakespeare.
1600s, maybe. Maybe he was younger than that. Maybe we're fucking it up.
I think, yeah, we could be.
Maybe he was a few hundred years behind.
1564.
Holy shit,
He
that was
was-
close enough.
He was born in 1564.
Wait, when did the name
and
come out?
also, Brittany didn't actually come out until 1966. I was trying to this is cut the cap. No one said I had to tell the truth and how.
man, dude.
If you ask me, okay, here, let's.
That
I'm
was
saying,
good.
if you ask, yeah, and the name was actually Jessica. He did come
He
up with
came
the
up
name.
with
He did
Jessica?
come up with the name, and it was Jessica.
Okay, that was outstanding. That was good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alright, what you got?
Okay. So, there was a pair of researchers once that turned a live cat into a telephone.
I feel like that's fact. They used to do a lot of fucked up stuff back in the day.
They turned a live cat into a telephone.
Yep.
I feel like this was probably like in the
I feel like
40s.
he's exaggerating. You're kind of overthinking your brain because I mean, technically,
I'm
I already
overthinking
lost.
my
So
brain.
you guys are the only ones that are still tied. So it's really
Oh.
just between you two. But I'm still gonna participate. I'm gonna say that is a fact, and they probably just made their first portable telephone and strapped it to a kitty cat. Because otherwise,
got?
what are they gonna do? Fucking stick the cat
The
next
cat
to
wouldn't
a
be
wall?
alive anymore.
Like there's no way. Like especially back there's no way they had like wireless phones back then.
Maybe
so,
they
like,
did the experiment on all their cat and died during the process.
yeah, possibly. Maybe they got one phone call through and then it fucking. But that also just
What?
sounds like some shit you'd see in
Did you
anime.
make it up? Is it cat?
No, it's true.
It's fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Alright,
Let's see where it is here.
so.
Just because it's kind of weird. So Princeton researchers Ernest Weaver and Charles Bray took out a cat's skull and most of its brain to connect the animal to electricity. When they spoke into the cat's ear, the sound could be heard through a phone receiver in another room. The twisted experiment paved the way for cochlear implant developments.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
You told me the cat stayed alive for this?
When he got hooked up to the energy, it pushed pulses back into its brain and rebooted the brain. So technically, it was alive.
So it was a
He's
vegetable.
like, sir, my cat is doing not what I needed to do. It's not hunting any mice. He's like, well, have you tried turning it off and then turning it back on again?
He's like, if you can, just put on a pair of rubber gloves, grab a metal fork and an outlet, and just touch your cat with them. Oh,
That's
alright.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's. So what did you say? I didn't.
Oh,
You
I
say
said
it's true?
I said it was fact. Yeah,
Oh, then my boy finally wins.
I do win.
Yep.
And so, just for fun, I will go ahead and state my last statement for this.
Yeah.
I would like to state that the Wright brothers, Orville and whatever the fuck the other
Yeah.
guy's name was, Wright, invented and flew the first airplane before cars were on normalcy in everyday life.
I can believe that, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about
That's
right.
true.
I was like, he said that was a statement, not that he was doing cut the cap or anything.
No,
He said
statement.
that was a statement. So,
yeah,
yeah.
that's part of the cut the cap. They're just statements. They're not
I
true
mean,
or false
Yeah, I guess they're saying.
until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
I could
say
see
fact.
That's fact. Though.
Fact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made that shit up. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's fucking lies. I was gonna say that.
I thought their names were right and wrong, anyways.
Mm.
I'm just playing.
No, it was Orville and like something else, right? I don't remember, but I know
Orville and Oval.
probably, dude.
Oh,
Probably, dude. But yeah. So I know that they definitely. I was gonna say that they made it before they made cars, but I don't think that's true. But
I'm kind of curious.
you should look it up. Perfect. 1886 is when the first car was invented.
It was 1903 when they took flight. December 17th, 1903.
Yeah, so everybody had a car by then. Because it was 1886, bro. That's like almost.
1886.
That's 50
When
years
the first
almost.
car was invented?
Yeah, that's 50. That's
so
50
1886 to 1903. That's like
50 years almost.
86 to 03.
That's
So that's
19
like
years.
that's a 17. No, so
No, it was
from
I thought it was-
86
I thought it was
86
18,
to
no, it was
19.
1866.
I thought you said 86.
No. Oh, it is. Yeah, okay, 1886
Yeah,
to
so-
what?
So 19
Yeah.
years. 17 years.
17 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a 17-year difference. So
I would say probably most of the upper class Americans had cars at that point.
Upper class, yeah, but upper class only makes like
Yeah, but upper class
15%.
is completely different from what it used to be in 1886.
yeah, but I mean
Like to 1903 and 1886, I guarantee like most of like middle class, upper class people had cars.
let's say, so it was 1903 when they first flew. One of the first cars accessible to masses was the 1908 Model T.
Oh shit! So that was true then, huh?
Yeah, so you
I
that
was true. Oh, you guys got funny points. That's hilarious.
shit.
That is hilarious. Well, you learn something new every day, huh?
Oh yeah, just like we learned how fast shrimps can, or yeah, was it shrimp that I said they could swim or something?
No,
Oh.
it was the mantis shrimp that had. That was the puncher.
That was the puncher.
Well, that was a punch, but
the
remember
tuna.
I lied about the one how
The
fast tuna could.
Yeah,
Tuna.
tunas can
Dude,
go
why are they so
40 something
fast?
miles per hour. They're
Yeah.
zooming.
They be in the ocean right next to a shark. Shark like, what's up, dude? It's like I bet you actually now that I think about it, a lot of sea life can probably swim
Oh,
that
they
fast.
zoom, bro. They be getting.
Like,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
So that was good. Who?
Yeah.
What's the final ruling here? Did I?
He lost.
final ruling 10 that I lost because you said like before we said we're going in first. I'm okay to losing such a close match like
That was a
we
good
had
game.
some
Yeah, that was a
we
good
had some good ones.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, I'd say overall the points were. I think I ended it like I technically lost at 8, but if we're counting the points for years that was technically true that you didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
then I'd be at 9.
So you
Yeah.
still lose.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
at
still
10,
lose.
and then
He'd be at 10.
You're at like
Yeah.
12 or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
Okay.
man has reached
'Cause
my
you got
record.
2 at the end.
I cracked the code, boys. Figured out the game. So, the topics that we have for today.
Yes.
So, I finished playing a game called 12 Minutes. It is a really good game. It's a really messed up game. You should check it out. But this dude is stuck in a 12-minute time loop. And so that is the question, is what would you do if you were stuck in a time loop? Now, we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, and he was like, I would like it, but I bring up the question of what if it was like him in that situation where you only have 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So after 10 minutes goes past, it repeats to the beginning of same 10 minutes. What are you going to do?
See, okay. That's when, like, I'd have to say everybody's answer should depend on what your goal is. Like, what is,
Mm-hmm.
like, because in most scenarios where, like, when people give, like, a time loop, there's a certain, like, you have to complete something to get out of the time loop.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people say it is like, oh, I'm getting a second chance to complete something.
Mhm.
And that game's not really like that. It's like...
No, because in the
you just kinda relive.
game, after the 10 minutes passes, depending on what you do, so, sure, okay, so, like, you can beg the question that everything's always there because it's
Yeah.
the same 10 minutes over and over
Yeah.
again. However, you learn new information with every time you restart the loop. So, like, like you could be in a time loop and let's say, like, you have to find out why you're in this time loop before you can even find out how to stop it.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have to go through and you need to talk to everybody, and it would be super easy in this situation to prove you're in a time loop because it's 10 minutes. So like you would remember things within seconds instead of hours of them happening. So like a rainstorm happens, you know what I mean? And you can be like, oh, thunder's going to hit right now. And then they're like, okay, how did you know thunder was going to hit right now? And then maybe the first few times they're like, oh, you're just getting a lucky guess. It's like, dude, I've done this 4 times with you. This is not a lucky guess. Thunder, now, crash.
See,
and then you're like, you know.
In my mindset, I'm going in with like, especially if I'm like, mindset first off, figuring out why I'm in the time loop. I'm not going to think about it first off. Well, it'd have to be once I notice I'm in the time loop, I will try to do everything I can in that next 10 minutes exactly the same as I have been in the last time loops. So that I can figure out what the fuck is going wrong. Like, where am I going wrong in this point? So then I can then start altering certain aspects of the time loop as it goes on to see what changes what as time progresses. And then, who knows, maybe, I don't know, because I guess if it is only 10 minutes, then it wouldn't be too long. Once the time loop ends, you would know when the time loop's about to end. And if it doesn't end, then you know you're good.
Right.
But then, what would you do if you're like, cool, it's good. 15 minutes later, another time loop. Back to the same first 10 minutes.
That would be horrible. So, like, but we're just talking about, like, you repeat this 10 minutes.
That's my thought part. That's
like,
how I'm going.
My first thing is, like, after the first maybe 2 times, because the first time it happens, I'm going to be like, this, no way that just happened. No way. And then I'm going to do everything regular. And then the second time it happens, I'm going to be like, okay. Then I'm going to set a timer on my watch or on my phone or something for 10 minutes. And when that timer goes off, I know how long it takes for the loop to reset. That's when I start doing my investigation. Like, I figure out how long it takes me to reset my, like, for the reset to happen, and then I just try to do as much as I can in those 10 minutes differently to find out if that helps. And if that doesn't help, then I go and I do it like a normal day and figure out what's going on and, like, break it down like that.
Okay.
I honestly don't know what I would do in a time loop. Because, I mean, if it really came down to it, it would depend on what the time loop is.
Okay.
Like where I'm at, what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's something...
Okay. Well, we'll just elaborate and say you just came home from work, you walked into your apartment. This is the beginning of the loop. You restart at the front door of your apartment walking in.
Yeah, so, like, literally, you start with your hand turning the knob.
Yeah,
like it's
going into the
open.
apartment. Like, you're halfway through the door, and that's when you start. Then, it's just a regular night at home for 10 minutes, and then it resets back to that.
And then, just at the end of the 10 minutes, you're just opening your door, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no matter what, like, you could be like, making dinner, and you go to flip the patty, or stir the pasta, or whatever, and then it's just you opening the doorknob and walking in.
Yeah. So you sit down at your PC, you hop in the Discord and like, what's up, boys? And then you're walking in.
Yeah.
Like,
fuck. Honestly, 10 minutes isn't long enough to really figure out shit.
I'd say 10 minutes.
Whenever it's the same
in a situation like that,
if you're carrying
feels like forever.
If you're carrying over all knowledge, it would be very easy.
Yeah, you're carrying over all knowledge. Yes.
Like, literally, like how I said, like, if you sat your PC and was like,
you're the only person that knows you're in the time.
If you don't catch yourself in time, you'll finish your sentence of whatever you're about to say. Like, you're like, what's up, boys? How's the night going? But you're at the doorknob talking to the door.
Yeah.
Like you're just full going through, but time is going back. You're the only one that knows.
Because whenever you focus on time goes slower.
Right.
So whenever you realize, hey, I only have 10 minutes to do this, you're really thinking about, like, how much time do I have left?
And then you realize how much you can get done in 10 seconds.
And then you get a lot done.
Honestly.
How would you combat this situation?
Let's throw it in there. Let's say you're only in a time loop because, let's say somebody in your, like, somebody close to you is, like, in danger or something severe happened, like, near you at that time that you should have been able to stop or change the alternative that you, like, what happened.
Let's go something
Honestly,
even simpler.
I'm the curious cat that'd be like, damn, am I really in a time loop? And I'd like cut off my finger or some shit.
Well, yeah, that's the first, like, yeah, that's the thing. So, like, is, like, that's the, like, yeah. And, well, here's the thing, too, is, like, how quickly you could, like, diverge into that kind of line of thinking, right? Because, like,
That's
let's
what
say,
I was thinking of too. That's
because,
what I was
like, let's say, like, you cut your finger off, right? And then the time resets and your finger's back or whatever. Cool, no problem, right? So the next thing that you're doing is, let's say it's been 3 hours and you're still repeating time, but you have so much information and you're like piecing the puzzle together and you make one mistake. And like, let's say like there's like weapons or something involved, right?
Right.
And then you're piecing this puzzle together, piecing it together. You have like 2 minutes and 45 seconds left and you mess up one part. And you know it's not going to work if you mess that part up. Now, you could just go fucking off yourself, reset time faster to get back to doing the puzzle to figure it out quicker or to get more information faster.
Right.
But then what? Because then whenever the time loop resets, you're never going to be the same person after that. You're like, yeah, I killed myself 14 times in a time span of like an hour.
Okay, I'm gonna just say if I'm stuck in a time loop, before I ever even think about solving the time loop, I'm gonna use that reset period repeatedly over and over again to try to figure out how to flawlessly rob a bank and get away with it without anybody seeing me.
Yeah, but you don't have enough time.
There's no way that's
Because
not.
if you're keeping your knowledge every time,
There's no bank. I mean, unless it's like a federally hidden bank, I'm going to confidently say without any research, there is no bank that is so privately hidden that you can go and rob it without being seen by anybody. Or without being tracked, followed, caught. Like, there's no way.
See, here's the thing, though, is like...
no, I mean like not robbing the bank itself in that 10 minutes, using the loop to get all the information I need to be able to rob that bank flawlessly.
He's like, whatever,
When
when
I
you
solve
solve
the
the
time
loop...
loop.
Yeah,
So
when
you get out of
So
the
that
time
I
loop,
solve
you just
it,
got
I rob
files
the bank,
of
and
shit.
then I just fucking go on about my life.
Yeah, but here's the issue with that is you don't keep any physical information.
That's what I was gonna say. So if you sat there and took notes that whole time,
Your
you
notes
could
are
sit there
gone.
every
Big
10.
ass brain.
Yeah, but if you have...
You'd have to remember everything about robbing the bank, and then you'd have to store that. Make sure you don't forget any of it, because if you fuck up, just like the time loop, if you fuck up one step, that's done. You're done.
You're
you know
done.
you're not going to work out.
That's it.
And then you have to store that, and then you have to work on figuring out the time loop, which is a whole nother conundrum in itself.
Which is going to make you forget a lot of information about...
or then
Right.
shit's gonna cross over, or then if you try to get help from if you try to get help from somebody robbing the bank, then you might just like human brains, when you tell people something or a story or anything, you change it to appease to them. So if you're trying to convince somebody to join robbing the bank, you might change the plan that will be flawless to appease them so that they join you.
Right.
And then end up fucking dead. It's just a whole
But
the mental
see,
game is a conundrum.
how good do you think you would be at solving those like one piece problems by the time you get out of the time loop to be able to pull off some of those one fuck up fails like robbing a bank?
See,
I would say that you wouldn't have enough experience just because it would have been... So it's all time relative. Even though time is not moving forward, it's all time relative. Because let's say you're stuck in a time loop for 10 years. You keep track of how many times it resets. 10 minutes, 60 minutes is an hour, 6 times is an hour. You go off that knowledge and you move forward until you've been doing this for 10 years and you still can't solve this problem. Then maybe when you solve the problem, maybe you have enough experience to do that. But if you solve the problem within 10 hours, that's not enough experience with those one-hit problems like that.
Right.
Right, because it just comes down to experience. Because, like, even the most experienced bank robbers get caught.
yeah.
I mean, 80% of that is because they tell too many people.
Everybody will get caught eventually. Either
Oh,
you get caught or you get dead. That's the only two ways it ends.
Especially because, like, think about, like, because, as I said, like, people say, like, they can track the serial numbers, whatever, but it's not like stores are fucking scanning the serial numbers of the bills when they do it. it's not until the bills reach back to the bank after they get deposited by the store
You know,
that they get retracked to that bank again
Yeah.
to be counted as like federal currency. So then, once that happens, it's like, have you ever seen the show The Heist on Netflix? They have like a great snare. When they go and rob the bank, the dude, he has it planned out perfectly. Gets all the people he needs, everything. And instead of really bank, they're going to where they print the money, holding
Before it's
everybody
circulated.
there, holding everybody there that works there hostage and making them print bills without serial numbers for them.
Mm-hmm. See, that's a smart way of going
Yeah.
about it. But now,
But if you see a bill without a serial number, I would be like, bro, that's fucking get out
This
of my
is
store.
fake.
Like, fucking.
Bro, but see, the thing is, like, if you rob a bank and you hide the money and they never find the money, and you go to jail because, you know, conspiracy
well, this is all
to rob a
irrelevant
bank.
because we're still in a time loop.
Well, no, he's saying he just wants the knowledge to rob the bank so then he can solve the time.
No,
and get
yeah.
out and
Right,
Yeah.
I understand. So now let's just say it takes you a week of time to solve how to rob a bank flawlessly. But it takes you 5 years to figure out the time loop.
Yeah.
Well, then that just, you gotta keep refreshing yourself as you try to figure out.
Yeah, but
the
that's
time.
wasting time not being able to find the time loop.
Technically, you're not wasting any time because you're in time loop.
Right. However, your mental... Because
Your
you retain
mental
all
state.
information.
Right.
Right. How many times... You think you could live the same 10 minutes over and over again for 5 years? Without completely going insane?
Yeah, because I feel like at some point, like, I feel
Probably.
like there's two roads I go down. Either I stay completely sane and I'm, like, hard working on, like, trying to get out of this and
Yeah.
figure it out, or I just fucking crack and every 10 minutes I hit my doorknob and I'm like, fuck it, go back to my car and I go pull some Joker shit for 10 minutes
Yeah,
and then
that's
respawn.
what you do every time.
Like-
Yeah, like, there's two ways to go about it. Either you can just completely lose your mind and you go on rampages,
Or you can just fucking-
do whatever
Or you
you
notice
want,
you're in a
'cause there's
time
no
loop and you're
consequence.
just you're in a time loop and you're just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go take out all this stress right now, even if I know how to solve the time loop, and then you just go fucking do it because you're psycho.
And then because I feel like just repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again with no success rate is the definition of
Like,
insanity.
think
That is the
within-
literal definition of insanity.
But it's forced insanity because you're in a time loop.
Right. Well, so what's worse? Is choosing insanity on your own or having it forced on you?
I mean, if you can keep,
Like, that's
if
a
you, if
tough
you can
question.
keep progressing through it, I mean, it's.
Right, but like, there's always going to be times where progression slows to where it's almost at a
I
halt.
mean, is it ever really like just being forced with insanity, or just letting the insanity out finally?
Well,
I mean,
Because it's like, in that sense, like, because this whole thing kind of comes in, like, I used to ask a question all the time, like, some, like, in gaming and stuff, in lobbies. What would you do if you could, like, if you could do anything in the world and nobody else knew what the fuck you were doing? And you could do anything. And nobody knew what you were doing, no consequences, nothing. Like, you will never get caught, no one will ever say anything to you
okay,
about
now,
it.
now what are the parameters of this question? I can do anything though.
Literally any...
I can leave the
You
planet.
can do the best, like, I mean...
Like,
Let's say
what are the
feasible to
pro-
human, like whatever you could feasibly do, like even I'm saying like it sounds
With
bad, but
my-
like either
with my
the most-
abilities, with
like
my
with your
skill set?
abilities, with your mindset, like what is either the best thing you could do for humanity, what is the worst thing you would do, just off of like without anybody knowing, and it's kind of a hard question because it's morals, because some people will think of something like fucked up. And they're never gonna tell somebody that
Right.
because they're like, this would be
This
it's
is-
the scenario
this
of
is
nobody would know.
horrific.
So
Yeah.
like, why would I tell somebody that? Like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to know.
But I feel like that's a different topic
That's
for
just
a
a
different
ponder-
day. That's a
but-
good topic.
But I'm just saying, in that 10-minute time loop, like
Is-
in the
do you
span
choose
of where
that?
you're at your
Is
house,
do you
yeah,
choose that?
Yeah, do you choose that? Like, would you
would you
actually
just
cave
say
into
fuck
that
it?
thought?
Would you just say fuck it and just do whatever your imagination could think of to do in these 10 minutes every time? Or because because technically by definition that's not insanity if you're doing something else. You can do other things and not succeed and it's not insanity. But doing the same thing over and over and over and over again is and failing with the knowledge of knowing it's going to fail is the definition of insanity.
Right.
So, like,
I mean...
Well, I mean, that's kind of why it'd be like, in the time loop, you kind of are going to say if you choose to just go do whatever the fuck your mind can think of, because you know
is
you're
that
supposed
insane, or is that like psychosis?
Well, because like you said, you're doing something
I
that
feel
you
like-
know is going to fail. So if your ultimate goal is to get out of the time loop and figure it out, and you know that eventually that's what you're going to need to do, and you're choosing to go do something else, I mean, either
I guess
whether
you're
it's
choosing
in the,
insanity.
I guess whether it's in the eyes of yourself or the other people around you, because you go do some fucked up shit in public and people are watching you, they're like, this kid's fucking insane.
Or is it really just experimental?
Experiment. I mean,
To,
that
like,
10
see if
minutes
it
to bring
works.
back human experiments.
Right. So, but like, that's a different question, because like, what's the worst thing that you could think of to do that would, let's say you're trying to solve a mystery, right? There's a mystery, and whenever you get the answer to this mystery, then that is the, like, let's say the ultimate end goal is to learn that you have a long lost twin brother, but you have no knowledge of this whatsoever, but the people that you meet during this 10 minutes will provide clues, or the things that you find
Would your
within this
long
10
lost
minutes.
twin brother also be in the time loop?
No.
Okay, so he's not involved.
No, he's not here at all.
Okay.
And then whenever you learn that you have a long lost twin brother, that's when the loop ends, and you figured it out.
Okay, see, at that
But
point...
you have no idea that that's what you're doing. You are just still walking into your apartment every 10 minutes. You don't know. Like, that's the end goal of the time loop. That's why you're in this loop, but you have no idea why you're in a loop. You know what I mean?
Did you just spell 12 minutes for me?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. This is not the plot of the game I played.
I mean, if you don't know that's what's happening, like I said, I just... Like, if I know that I have a goal to get out of it, and I don't know what I have to do to get out of it yet, then, like I say, I'm just gonna... Once I realize I'm in the time... Because I feel like the first couple time
How
loops
long do
that-
you think it would take you guys to learn that you have a goal
that I have a goal...
in
okay.
the time loop?
Because, okay, if it's, like,
A
let's say
couple
it's your mindset now, like, how you think
Probably
now,
like
like,
10,
because
15
with
probably.
all the sci-fi knowledge and shit and, like, comic books and
Yeah,
stuff that's
yeah,
come out,
like
you see a time loop
we're,
now,
we're gamer nerds.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
know...
I'm like, where's
a
the
lot
waypoint
of-
at? It's
right.
now.
So we have a basic understanding of fiction based reality scenarios
Yeah.
is like the best way to explain, because like video games are a fictional reality that you manipulate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like real life, but it's not real because it doesn't affect
Yeah.
you outside of
Doesn't
that
affect your
one
physical-
scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is kind of
Yeah, I just say, like, because walking into... I'd say it'd probably take me about good...
because
Not the first time loop, the second time loop is the second time I'm going through that 10 minutes, or the third time 10 minutes.
I feel like this is just like your IQ, right? I feel like this has nothing to do with if you play video games, you have knowledge of
Yeah.
science fiction or fiction or anything
Yeah,
like this.
no,
Just
because
you
at
being
some
able
point-
to solve a puzzle.
Because I bet you everybody
But-
kind of seen deja vu, like, or not seen deja, but you've experienced deja vu, right? You're just like, oh, this has happened before, like,
Right.
like after I
To
do the
the
first
T,
10 minutes,
like-
once I come in the second time, I'm just like, I
Oh,
do the same
deja
thing, and then
vu.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's some deja vu. I fucking go back through my normal shit. It would be to like the third, fourth time where I'm like, no, this
Okay,
is the
this is-
exact same
yeah.
fucking shit. Like by the third time, I'm walking in and calling what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But see, the real question is it just to find out that you have an objective in general, or to find out
No,
that
it's
the
to-
objective
it's
is
to-
to find your...
No,
It's
it's
to complete the
to
objective.
complete the objective.
You just don't even know you have the objective yet
Yeah.
until
You don't know you have an objective.
it's just you're just like,
So
why?
it's how
not?
the question is, how long do you think it would take you to find out that you have
Like how
an
many
objective?
loops? You know what I mean? Like, cause like if I have to do like 100 loops or whatever
See, my thing would be like
to figure out I have an
it.
objective.
See, but I feel like
Right.
in something like that, it wouldn't be so random. It's be like just out of nowhere. It's just like you have to find your long lost twin brother. It'd be like
It would
like-
be something that
like
was
a
like super
phone
serious.
call.
Like it would be like something as in you get a phone call from a scam company that is secretly holding one of your family members hostage, and there's like a lot of hidden scenarios and people that come along your path during this 10 minutes that hint towards that. However, you have no fucking idea what's going on.
Bruh.
You know what I mean?
Bruh.
yeah, it's like you're walking down the street and somebody be like, they say a name similar, like you know how a lot of fucking parents that have twins, they'll name their kids like Braden and
Or
Aiden
like,
and
okay,
shit.
no. Here's a better scenario. Let's say you did something in your past that was completely completely horrific, and you have severe amnesia, or not amnesia, but you just completely forget.
Like, you just blocked
about
it out.
You just
Like,
blocked it out,
yeah.
right? And now you're being forced through this time loop to reconcile with the truth of your actions. But you have, and the way that the human mind works is you can completely just kill memories.
Yeah.
Gone, dead forever,
Out.
until you have a trigger that brings them back.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, let's just say that's it, right?
Okay.
It would take me definitely like 2 or 3 loops to figure out that I have an objective.
Mm-hmm.
But to figure out what the objective is would probably take me, I'd probably say like 15, 20 loops easy.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say, like, but with that, so
Because there are so many different aspects and even just a 10-minute time.
So within that 10 minutes, do you have to, like, figure out how to atone for what you did at that time, or just
How to
or just
figure
accept it?
out how to reconcile with the truth, to relearn the truth of your actions, of this horrific thing that you've done.
Depends on how bad it was, because I mean,
Like,
if
let's
it's,
just
like,
say it's really really terrible, like almost genocide level terrible, and you've completely blocked it from your memory. Like, your brain has killed that thought off completely from your mind, and it's not like a genocidal act or whatever, but it's just like that amount of horribleness. You know what I mean?
what is even equal to that amount of horror?
I feel like there's
you
a few
were,
things.
You were in the back seat throwing a fit. Your mom looked away from the steering wheel and ran head on into a car.
No, not
Bam.
like
Genocide.
that. Not
I'm
like
saying, no, I'm
we're-
see,
like-
he's saying I'm
like,
thinking
let's just
genocide. I'm
say-
thinking of, like, the airport mission.
Let's just
fucking Call of Duty.
So let's say like when you were 20 years old, you drowned a kid in a river, and everybody thought it was an accident because he was alone doing something like hiking or something. Like, you never got caught for it,
Yeah.
and you completely, your brain has just repressed it so much that it's completely gone from
Or, like
your,
I said, like, when
your
you
thought.
tell people, like, when you change the story, like, dude runs up to the people with the drowned kid, like, I found him in the river when I was walking by, like...
No, like, you
or-
just, like, you did it, you left, and then you repressed that memory until, you did it when you were 20 years old, you repressed it until you were, like, say, 40, and now you're having this time loop, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm saying...
It's, like, something on that level.
By the time I'm 40, I feel like my morals might have changed. I might care a little more about human life, because as I do now, no offense, I feel like I'd probably just, like, I'd hit the time loop, I'd be like, oh my god, I did do that shit. That was fucked up. Time to go get my fucking morning coffee.
Like, so, no, like,
Well, I mean, because you come out of the
that's
time, you see,
reconciling with the truth.
Yeah,
right?
I know,
But
like,
you
that's-
need to have, like, it's like there's, like, it's a puzzle, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like 15 or 20 loops and then you remember, like, oh shit, I did that. It would be like, oh shit, here's a piece of this. It's like you find, like, let's just say, like,
The loop is slowly throwing shit in your way that
that
kind of similar
kind
to
of
it.
helps you, like, trying to remind you, right? Like, let's just say, like you come home and then your wife is, like, reading a newspaper clipping and then it's, like, in remembrance on the newspaper, like, little Timmy drowned in the river 15 years ago. And,
then-
like, right, and then, but you never look at
Yeah,
that
you
for the
don't think
first
about
30 loops. You just completely, like, oh, hey, honey, how's your day going,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Or, like, you
Do-
kind of
go
pick
do
it
your
up,
stuff.
but you just don't think about it. You like, because the memories are pressed. You're just like, oh damn, like, he died.
But,
R.I.P.
like-
little Timmy.
Like, yeah, but, and then eventually you're like, okay, maybe this is a piece of what I need to know.
And then the last bit is like, if for some reason in this part of the loop, your wife's like, all right, let's take the kids to the pool or whatever.
Mm.
You save your kid from drowning, and you, like, pick him up, but you hold him the same way as you had that kid.
Right,
And then you're all
something.
just like, and then it just triggers, and you're
Yeah.
like holding the kid, like, oh my, like, he's
No,
breathing.
see, it
but
wouldn't be like that.
I don't know. I'm just thinking some cinematic, some like
That's-
dramatic
that-
shit. Like,
yeah.
they just,
Yeah.
like, he picks him up. He's
But
holding
you wouldn't
the kid,
have
and
any
he's like, "You saved me."
flashbacks or anything like that. You would just be like that wouldn't really have anything to do with it until you remembered. You know what I mean? And then that would probably be like the
And that'd be
final
like a
clue.
PTSD.
That
like,
would be like the final clue to make you, like, after you figured out everything else, like, you picked up the newspaper, like, you went outside and you saw, like, some kids playing in the river, and then you saw this. or like just like a bunch of other shit that you
Or
never
because
would
that
have
is-
noticed.
See, or
Like-
because how internet works,
'cause, like-
40 will be like, you get on, like, you see the thing on Facebook, it's like,
'Cause,
little
like,
Timmy, R.I.P., and then you scroll down,
I
and you have a
come-
memory from hiking in the same place the
Right,
river is, or
something.
like,
And because like I come home, kick my shoes off.
Yeah.
So like if this was me, I come in to the house, boom. Right now I'm in the house. There's nothing else for me outside of the house, but I have like somebody come over from my childhood. They come over, and I walk past my girlfriend. She's reading this newspaper. I go in. I grab my water, go upstairs, sit down at my computer, take a sip of water, log into the video game I'm going to play, and then boom, resets. Okay? Now, there's so many other things that I could do. I could, instead of doing what I just did, because it would be me coming inside, taking my shoes off, getting my water, going upstairs, not paying attention to anything. Now I could stop, talk to my girlfriend. Hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Something weird just happened, because this is what I would do. You know, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I just had some really bad deja vu. And then that takes up a portion of the time that I would have went upstairs to play video games. So now I go and I sit down and I'm back in the chair. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Now I'm starting to figure it out. You know what I mean? And then it just snowballs
Yeah.
from there.
that's when I was like, that's what I was saying, that's when I would go back and try to
Start-
do the time loop exactly as I did right
The first
before
time?
it started. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
To try to figure out what really went wrong. Because then if you start doing other stuff, you went wrong the minute you started doing other stuff. At
See?
some point before you were going in the right direction until you. But I mean, it could also be true depending on when it.
Well,
happened.
no, so
This is a huge fucking.
this is
Rabbit
see
hole.
that isn't good because like to be honest, like if me coming into my house the first time is me being oblivious to everything, me on autopilot mode doing my daily routine, right? Me coming into the house on the second time is me trying to autopilot and do my daily routine with a little bit of random thrown in because I'm instead of just walking past, I'm getting my water and going upstairs. I'm, hey, weird thing happened. I just walked
Yeah.
through the door twice. I don't know how to explain it. Weird deja vu. Okay, see you in a bit. Go upstairs. Now I'm back at the door again, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know. Maybe not deja vu. Maybe this is like because I remember. Hey, I just talked to my girlfriend about this. I go inside, talk to her again, and she's all like, not like, oh, you already told me that. She's like, oh, that's really weird, haha, first time conversation kind of thing. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to figure it out. Like, because if I just try to repeat the same thing over and over again, then I don't make any progress, right? But now I'm making progress and I'm saying like, okay, now I've learned this is a time loop. And I know that if I do everything the same way, it's just going to restart. If I do it the same way that I did it the first time, it's just going to restart as soon as I sit down in my chair.
Because at that point, like, if it's just the time, I'm like thinking about it as like, as logically as I can to find the answer, like, step by step, like, because in my, like, you break it down, like, you go through the day, but then you already changed one thing, because you stopped, you talked to her, like, how's your day going, like, you do the whole, like, something weird happened, but, so then that's
you repeat
something that
one
changed.
thing,
That's,
because then I go in, well, because, like, one thing that repeats is me talking to her and then getting the same response two times in a row.
I'd see if it's on, because it's a timed time loop and not technically based off of an action being made,
Mm-hmm.
then I could say, because otherwise it would just be at the end of that 10 minutes, whatever, like, you taking a sip of the water is what the fuck sent the time loop back. Like, you should have just left your water there for 10 more minutes and then taken a sip.
Right.
But
it's not. It's like learning something. Like, you need to learn something instead of just, like,
you
reversing
need to pick
an
up
action.
on something. Be more cognitive to
Because I feel like that's the majority of, like, oh, you have a time loop and it's based on the action that you committed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's not. I mean, well, it is, but it's a repressed memory that you need to reconcile with to stop the time loop from happening and then hopefully make the right choice so it doesn't happen again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a long ass.
That was fun.
Days.
I don't think that we're going to have time to talk about what animals would win in a fist fight versus us. However, we will definitely touch on that topic.
Yeah, just tuck that one in the kangaroo pouch for next time.
Yep. So let us know what you would do if you were stuck in a time loop as well. And if you made it to the end of the episode, I appreciate it so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share this with everybody. So.
And on top of that, just leave some more ideas for like scenarios or anything you'd like to hear us talk about in the comments. Like anything weird you think, Black Mirror-ish, like all those scenarios are so weird. It's fun. It's rabbit holes to jump down. Great content.
So that would be we would really appreciate that. So thank you very much, and we will see you guys next week.